Is Social Security broke? And what happens when they run out of money? Do benefits end? These are some really good questions, which is exactly what we're going to cover right here in this video. So let's get right into it. All right, so we've all probably been hearing this for many, many years. I know that I've been hearing it since I was even a little kid. Social Security is broke. They're out of money. The program is ending. Benefits are going to stop. You'll never see Social Security in your lifetime because it'll be long gone by the time you get to full retirement age, right? We've all been hearing these lines for many, many years, right? But here we are many decades later, and yet Social Security is still around, and it seems to be doing just fine as of right now anyway. Well, across all Social Security benefits, including retirement, SSDI, Social Security disability, and survivor's benefits, there's about 65 to 70 million beneficiaries who draw on and rely on these monthly benefits every single month. So, as you can see, it is a lot of people, a huge percentage of our population. So the real question is, are they going to let this very important program go down the tubes and just completely disappear? Or is there actually a solution up ahead at some point in the future? Well, again, this is something that we want to talk about right here in this video because there is still a lot of talk about Social Security being broke, Social Security having some major problems ahead of it, which they actually do, and many other questions out there revolving around this very important program that we've all been promised to start drawing on at some point in our retirement and relying on those benefits where we can kick back, enjoy our retirement, and get the infamous monthly check ongoing forever, right? Well, let's get into it and discuss all the details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. I am your one and only daily advocate. I'm here for you every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can by doing all this research, breaking it all down into these short videos, delivering them to you a few times each and every day so that you can stay updated and stay in tune with everything going on right now. During this very busy time, I want to make sure that you have all the latest updates and that you know what's going on, especially as it pertains to your monthly benefit if you are currently a beneficiary or if you're waiting to start drawing on your monthly benefits. Either way, I want to help you out in any way that I possibly can. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any updates going forward, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side, helping you out in any way that I possibly can every single day. All right, thanks again. Let's get right into this. All right, so this is a major concern and a really big question that I certainly want to answer for you in this video, at least answer to the best of my knowledge, and of course, with all the research that I've done on this very important topic. Like I said, we've probably all been hearing this for many, many years of our lives. Like I said, I've been hearing this for as far back as I can remember as a little kid. Social Security is a program that's like a dinosaur, right? You won't see it by the time you hit retirement age. You'll never see those benefits, all kinds of different things that we've all heard, right? We've all heard the different lines. Social Security is disappearing, all kinds of different things. But what is really happening? All right, so let's talk about this. What is Social Security really doing? Is it really a dinosaur and it's just going to turn into, a little skeleton that we can hang up in a museum and we can all look at and say, wow, that was a nice program. It's all gone now, but it was fun to think about when it was around. Is that what Social Security is going to turn into? And in the event that Social Security actually is broke or it runs out of money, what happens then? Does the program dissolve and just disappear? Again, I want to make sure that we understand what is actually going on here because it's not really that intense. I mean, a lot of us look at this and think, that's what's going on here, right? Well, no, actually not really. So let me talk you through the details. First off, many people are wondering, is Social Security broke? First off, no. Social Security has trillions of dollars in their trust funds as of right now. So they're not broke. Unless you consider trillions of dollars in trust funds to be broke, then I guess maybe they're broke. But no, Social Security has a massive amount of money right now. However, do they maybe have some problems ahead of them? Yeah, the program does have some major issues ahead of them, but it's out many, many years into the future. However, as of right now, it's looking like about 10 years from now is when Social Security would probably have a major inflection point that Congress needs to address way before this point actually arrives. And again, because of everything going on right now, this timeline is unfortunately moving forward, as in getting closer and closer. That gap is closing, and again, we need to wait for Congress because they are the ones who have the authority to actually do something about this through legislative action. However, now that we've discussed Social Security and they're far from being broke, I mean, unless, a trillionaire is broke, I don't think so, not by my definition anyway. But anyway, now that we've covered that, let's quickly talk about what happens in the event Social Security runs out of money. Now, let's just be real now. Here's the thing, going forward into the future, assuming that there is no congressional action, as in Congress doesn't do anything, we pass the next 10 years or so, and all of a sudden, here we sit. The trust funds have been depleted. Now what? They're broke. The program's over, right? No, that's actually not the case. No, that is not how it works. So yes, as of right now, the trust funds are depleting, according to the research and everything that is out there right now. The trust funds are depleting very slowly, okay? So here's what's happening. Money is going out of the program faster than it's coming in, right? So let me give you a quick example. Let's just say, again, this is just a real quick example. The numbers are much different than this, but this is just to kind of better illustrate the example of what's actually going on right now. Let's just say on a monthly basis, $1,000 goes into the trust fund, okay? On a monthly basis, $1,000 is going in through Social Security payroll taxes. Great. But at the same time, they're paying out $1,100. So they're paying out on a monthly basis $1,100. Meanwhile, only $1,000 is going into the trust fund each and every month. Therefore, it's actually losing about $100 a month. Does that kind of make sense? You got $1,000 going out and $1,100 going out and $1,000 going in. So it has a very, very slow leak, right? So it's essentially how the program is operating as of right now with the current levels and payroll taxes and things like that it's currently collecting. So as a result of that, over long periods of time and the trillions of dollars that they have available in the trust funds will slowly deplete because that little hole in the bottom of the boat just continues to deplete a little bit more each and every month, right? And again, this is just a quick analogy and a little picture that I'm trying to build for you to better understand what is going on here. All right, so with that being said, now let's fast forward 10 years from now. The trust fund has depleted, right? The day of reckoning has arrived. The trust fund is done. It's over. It's empty, right? Now what? Benefits are all over with. They're done. No, that's not how it works. So here's what happens. Social Security is still collecting payroll taxes every single month, right? So if you're working currently, or if you were working, I mean, you probably were working, during the vast majority of your life, you probably looked at your pay stub and saw a lot of taxes being taken out. Where's that money going? Well, you're paying half of the total Social Security taxes. So the Social Security taxes that are being taken out of your paycheck is half of what is due to Social Security. Your employer pays the other half, unless you're self-employed. If you're self-employed, then guess what? You get to pay all of it. Yeah, the nice thing about being self-employed, you get to pay all of it. But anyway, so that money's being pulled out of your paycheck, your employer is paying the other half of the Social Security taxes on your behalf, and then it's going into the Social Security Trust Fund. However, in the event that the Social Security Trust Fund is depleted, they're still getting that tax revenue being brought in through payroll taxes. So here's what happens. Now that the trust fund has probably emptied out, now the only thing that they have to distribute is the current tax revenues that are being brought in through payroll taxes. Now, at the time, let's just say 10 years from right now, when the trust fund is actually insolvent, as in it's empty, we don't know where payroll taxes are going to be at that point. Will payroll taxes have increased to actually maybe alleviate some of the issues going on here? Maybe is the labor participation rate, is it higher or possibly is it lower? Based on the trends, I'm going to go ahead and project in 10 years from right now, the labor participation rate is going to be significantly lower. That's at about maybe 61 to 62% right now is the labor participation rate. I'm going to go ahead and guess in 10 years from right now, it's going to be significantly less than that. Again, only time will tell. That's just my speculation based on the trends that are going on right now. People are leaving the workforce, not entering it. So with that being said, again, that's a whole nother topic we can talk about in a separate video. But here's what they have to work with. And here is where the major problem comes in for Social Security, is that they have less money coming in through payroll taxes than what's going out. As a result of that, when the trust fund is depleted, unfortunately, they can no longer pay all of the promised guaranteed benefits on an ongoing monthly basis. So then what happens? Well, we've already heard it. The reports are coming out saying that when this happens, if this happens, again, there's a big if behind this because Congress could change this, Congress could change something and actually make sure that the program has plenty of money going into this, and we may never actually see this problem actually arise. But let's just say that this problem does come forward and the trust funds are depleted. Well, then, according to the most recent reports, benefits would likely be declining, as in reduced by about 22% to account for the actual money that's coming in versus the money that's going out, right? So in order to do that, they would need to reduce all benefits across the board by roughly 22%. And again, that's as of right now. Now, as we fast forward and get closer to that date out into the future, we could be talking about a much more significant reduction in benefits. According to the current estimates right now and the current numbers, that's where they're sitting right now, 22% reduction. So again, let me give you a quick example. Let's just say that you're currently receiving a $1,000 benefit. If this were to happen, your benefit would be reduced by $220 a month from $1,000 down to $780, okay? That's what it would look like. Not a pretty situation. That would not be a good thing, right? So anyway, this is where the program would actually be sitting in the event the trust funds are actually depleted. And what would actually happen? Would benefits end? No, benefits would not end, but rather benefits would be reduced to actually account for they can only pay out the amount of money that's actually being brought in through payroll taxes, right? So let's just say that, again, another quick example for you. Let's just say that in 10 years from right now, the trust funds are depleted, the insolvency issue has come up. Here's what happens. They bring in $1,000 per month of payroll taxes. They can only pay out $1,000 worth. But realistically, they can probably pay out less than that because they still have administrative costs. They have a lot of other fees, lot of other overhead that they also need to cover as well. So can they really pay out the full $1,000? Well, that'd be up for debate, but likely probably not even that much. Therefore, that is where the reduction comes in. Does that kind of make sense? So anyway, with all of these rumors and all of these ideas that Social Security is done, it's broke, it's a dinosaur, it's going to disappear, benefits are ending, all of these things that we've all been hearing for many, many decades, is that completely true? No, it's not. It simply means that the program does have some pretty big problems ahead of us. But again, it's out into the future. As we get closer, we're likely going to see some kind of congressional action on this. What is that going to be? Well, we have no clue at this point. We have no idea what Congress is actually going to do about this. That's for them to decide, and they have the ultimate authority to figure out what that solution is going to be. But that is something that can and probably will be done. But in the event that all of this actually comes to fruition, worst case scenario, benefits will be reduced and benefits will continue to go out, just not at the same levels as what they once were as far as the guaranteed promised benefits that you've always been getting, right? They'll likely be reduced in probably a pretty big way, about about 25%, give or take 22, 24, something around there percentage points based on what the current reports are saying. So anyway, hope this helps to better understand what is going on with Social Security, some of the major problems ahead. But again, we're a long time out from right now. But again, for those, the myths, all the different ideas floating around out there about this turning into a big old dinosaur, well, no, it's actually been around for many decades, and it'll likely be around for many, many, many more decades into the future. So anyway, hope this helps to better understand what is actually going on here. Thanks again for watching this. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and of course, go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. I really do appreciate you. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Feel free to leave your comments, your questions, and your feedback down below. And of course, go back and check out some of those other videos here on the channel, as there's a lot of great content right here for you to enjoy. And I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you again later.